Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigvald here, and welcome back to another video. So in this one I'm going to finally get my beta club from level 8 to level 9 through some material rewards that I'm going to get from this Soul Raid. And yeah, most likely I'm gonna get it to level 10 next time this Soul Raid is going to come around, which will most likely not be too soon. But I wanted to take this time to talk a little bit about the beta club in general and people's opinion about that. So first of all, everybody that doesn't have beta club kind of hates beta club, and that's very understandable because it's basically kind of the strongest artifact in the game, and you have no way to get it except for spending money or from randomly dropping it from Rise of Krypton. And look, I have seen it randomly drop from Rise of Krypton, but we're going to be real here. It's not gonna happen to you, it's not gonna happen to me. It happens very, very rarely, and that is not something that you should count for as a reliable way to get it. To excuse it as not being pay to win. By the way, I'm letting Kinflan Sakuman die here so I don't get unusual gameplay, because that sometimes happens when you use beta club. So the hate towards beta club is totally understandable. If you ask me, beta club should have never been a thing in the first place. But at the same time, you should consider that beta club is at a far more overpowered state than it was at release. Because when the beta club released, there were let's say one, maybe two characters that were doing well with it. Like Batman Ninja Team was off the rails. They were the best team in the game after that got released. And Manta and Kinflan Sakuman did well enough with the beta club, but I think if we disregard Batman Ninja Team at the release of the beta club, Dark Melkars was by far more impactful in terms of that, though yet again that's a free artifact. But since then we had a lot of new characters like Mr. Freeze, Raven, on release Batman Who Laughs, who are going to take beta club to fire new heights. So it's not necessarily about the beta club itself, but newer characters being kind of built towards it, and Mr. Freeze is the best and most disgusting example of that. He does amazingly well with beta club and is kind of garbage without it. So yeah, all those things considered, though overall I think Raven is far more broken in the beta club if you want to put it that way, but hey, she is available for everyone and free to get. So all those things considered, I definitely do agree with people disliking beta club. I definitely do agree with beta club that shouldn't be in the game. If I could go back in time and have an influence over that, I would not have that put into the game. But if you're going to hate on beta club, try to at the very least know what you're talking about, because if not, if you're hating on something, but you don't know what you're talking about, people are not gonna take you seriously. So beta club is going to work well on a few things. It's going to work well enough on Kinflan Sakuman without Raven, extremely well on Kinflan Sakuman plus Raven. It's going to go decently well on any legendary character that goes with Brainiac, and especially Mr. Freeze. And it's going to go well for the Batman Ninja Team. And yeah, I know that's a lot of teams, but that's about it. If you're going to put beta club on a random character in the game, it's not gonna do well, because you see from time to time the comment of any silver character can do infinite damage with beta club equipped. Bro, that's one of the most room temperature IQ things that I ever heard in my life. And first of all, the room temperature IQ thing didn't make sense to me because I live in Europe and here we have Celsius, and that would be like very low in the 30, 24 to 35 most optimistically when it's summer and you don't have air conditioning values. But for this statement alone, actually it makes sense even for Celsius, not only for Fahrenheit, my dude. So yeah, that's basically the rant about beta club. You can hate on beta club all you want, but don't throw outlandish statements out there, because that might mislead people. Somebody might see that comment and be like, oh, if beta club is such a cheat code to the game, I'm going to open Rise of Krypton bundles until I get beta club, and then they put it on server something, and server something doesn't do damage because it doesn't synergize with it in any way, shape or form. So yeah, that's about it with a little bit of a rant. So definitely by all means hate on beta club all you want. I'm there with you, but at least know what you're talking about, because if not, you sound kind of dumb. Okay, so moving on to next fight, I want to test out the level 9 Beta Club on Mr. Freeze and see how that goes. We have Brainiac in Classic One Room, and so we basically have the next best thing to giving him Raven, so we'll see how that goes. Though granted, I did a few mistakes in this fight that we're going to go over. So we're going to first stack Lethal Brainiac. I tagged him in there to help out generate some power. Special one in there. Come on, chopped. Another special one. I feel like he's pushing me a lot, and here I almost messed up, but managed to combo and chop him with the swipe after 2 hits. That was weird. That was not intended. If I wanted to do that on purpose, most likely I would have failed. Mr. Freeze back in there. Brainiac special one. Combo and chopped. Another special one. Combo and chopped again. Special one. Again, we're kind of out of energy. So I'm actually going to sit here for a bit. I think I was waiting for super move. I think that's what I was waiting for, to tank it with Brainiac, and I failed at combo option right before the super move. And this derailed this fight a bit. This delayed it a bit. One of the two things that delayed this a bit and made it a little bit unoptimal. Mr. Freeze in there, he does a jump attack. Not a big fan of them backing off into a jump attack. Like, since I made this channel, I've been complaining about the back off into a jump attack, because it's something that only the AI can do. If I try to do that, I'm not gonna be able to. It's something that only the AI specifically can do. So from this point, I'm going to speed up the process. Another thing that I kind of wasted time on was using the super move, because my Mr. Freeze is only 3 stars, so that's not gonna have amazing results. And also, I don't know what's the deal with this dude, but we had a very hard time getting the high value. So this is the 20 mil value, and we struggled a bit and reapplied it a bit until we got it. We're going to let it run its course. I know. Amazingly interesting gameplay over here. Amazingly interesting gameplay, but this is actually the proper gameplay. You just jump until you see high dot value, and then you wait and refresh it only when you need to. And at this point, that's 20 mil dot damage per second. I can't really complain, but at the same time, we could have reached this value far faster. That would have been far better for this fight. But yeah, that's gonna be as far as my 3-star Mr. Freeze goes with level 9 Beta Club. Though yet again, as I said, Beta Club, Mr. Freeze does far better at higher star ratings. So over here we have the League of Anarchy team, and they actually have the Beta Club on Harley Quinn. So this is, if you're watching, this is because of a comment from Boss Earth. Not from Boss Earth, my bad, he said the thing about any zero character can do well with Beta Club. But actually on our video, somebody asked, how is your League of Anarchy doing so much dot damage? And somebody randomly commented on that, like out of nowhere. I've literally never seen that dude commenting on the channel before, I think. He was like, it's because of the Beta Club. Bro, room temperature IQ. Okay, and I wanted to kind of prove a point here. And I've proven it too well, because I was expecting to still kill this because it has 700 mil health, and with Dark Metal cards equipped on Harley. And keep in mind, by doing that I have to cycle out an Rise of Krypton artifact, and I'm having 8,000 less attack. If I have that set up, now we have 3 Rise of Krypton artifact set up. We have the Beta Club at level 9, and as you can see the dot from that as Harley gets tagged out. Compared to her dot damage in general and basic attack hits, it's absolutely garbage. So if you think the Beta Club is going to make League of Anarchy do a lot, I don't know what to say at that point, my dude. I don't know what to say. And this actually did worse than I was expecting myself. So yeah, moving on to the next fight, we have the Batman Ninja team against Boss Reverse Flash. Yeah, we have the Beta Club on, and we're going to see how far the dot value can get now. So trying to push into a corner. I'm kind of scared. I was kind of scared at the start a bit to come one-shot him, but it seems like we can reliably do it actually. And you wouldn't think so because of his very fast AI, but he simply doesn't seem to have too fast of a follow-up after the first hit, or at the very least not fast enough. Because like when he jumps, when he backs off, it's going to be crazy fast, my dude. But when he does the hits, it's not gonna be that bad. So I'm going to eventually attempt it. Come on, there we go. Finally, took me long enough to get to that point. And yeah, when he class changes, there's not much I can do about it. But yeah, here we can reliably combo chop his ass. We see a 15 mil dot value in there, so definitely a pretty high value. Keep in mind for this team specifically, I mean for every single team, but for this one it's going to be more relevant because attack also goes well with lethal attack damage that we already have. For this one specifically, they are going to benefit a lot also from the increase in attack for the artifact specifically, as much from the dot passive of its increase. So it's going to be quite an improvement. And yeah, if you're wondering how I got Beta Club myself, I paid money. I opened a few bundles. Would I have done that if I didn't have a YouTube channel and didn't make money from the game? Most likely not. Most likely not. So I can't advise you buy gamble bundles to get this artifact, but yeah. So the Benji team did well enough considering the unoptimal scenario that they were put in. Though I think, I was gonna say we had class advantage against Reverse Flash because he was meta-human and we are agility, but that's not the case because he constantly class changes in that fight specifically. So here we have a little bit of a fight. We're going to try and clean up boss grid. I mean, I know for a fact that this team is not going to be able to do the cleanup. They just simply don't have enough damage. So he's immune to dot, so he will take a little bit longer because of I can't use Beta Club teams or League of Anarchy teams here to push him. But we did use the percentage health damage, boys. So now we're going to use Manta. We have Silver Green Lantern because honestly, actually I could have put Bane in there. With Manta you can combo interrupt grids after one hit, but at the same time it's going to be a very high risk type of gameplay because if you do that and fail it once, he might use his second special that's going to tag your character out, and if your Manta gets tagged out, then he most likely will lose the passive stacks, and building that up again is going to be a pain. We have Dark Metal cards on Manta. The Jokerized Batarang would have been another alternative, but I went with Dark Metal cards here, and yeah, definitely the damage is going to be quite decent, considering the character that we're using and the minimal support characters that we're giving him. And I'm going to actually over here try to use third specials. I am going to combo interrupt in between third specials when I don't have the energy to do them, but at the same time doing the third specials allows for a smaller window of mistakes, let's say. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and goodbye.
This is the future.